Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Outspoken Samantha. Please hit the thumbs up button and the subscribe button while you are here. Thank you so much for doing that. So today I want to talk about a recent controversy surrounding a country artist named Morgan Wallen and something that happened after he appeared on an SNL episode within the last few days. Now, he went on the show, performed a couple of his songs, and everything seemed to be going well, yet it was his exit from the show that seemed to cause a little bit of a stir. So let's have a look at that.
I had a wonderful time. Thank you all.
Going into this a little bit further, there was an article in Page 6. It says Morgan Wallen seemed pleased with his Saturday Night Live appearance prior to his abrupt exit. And as we saw, he gave his co-host a hug, and it appeared that he said something to her on his way out. So it says lip reader Nicola Hickling broke down Wallen's headline-making interaction with host Mikey Madison after the country singer came under fire for walking off the stage at the end of this weekend's episode. Thank you all so much, Wallen 31 said to the cast and crew, adding that he had a wonderful time, according to Hickling for Slingo. The Grammy nominee purportedly repeated his thanks while hugging Madison. The Honora star 26 replied, "Chatting to you was really good," per the expert. After Wallen walked away mid-credits, the camera panned over to the cast members' conversations, including Colin Jost jokingly telling someone, "You got to remember how he's feeling," according to Hickling. The last night crooner appeared to skip the NBC show's after party, instead sharing an Instagram story photo of his private jet. Now, apparently, it's very abnormal to just leave the stage like this. I don't watch enough SNL to know what's normal and what's not normal, so I would have never thought anything of it. But I guess people usually stick around, they hug the cast, and everyone kind of high fives. And so for him to just walk away from everyone and like down the steps and out the back door was seen as kind of a snub. But it also wasn't just the fact that he left the stage in a hurry, but shortly afterward, he posted on Instagram a picture of his private jet with a caption that read, "Get me to God's country." Now, to me, it was that message that was kind of the biggest part of this whole thing. I think that's an indicator that there was probably far more going on than any of us realized, because that is a pretty bold statement and maybe a little bit of a passive aggressive comment about the environment that he was in and the people that he was working with. The reactions to this little situation have kind of been all over the place. It was said that he did this because that was exactly how he exited during rehearsal. So he just did what he had done every time that they ran through the show. And to me, that would kind of make sense, but I do have a hard time believing that he would have no idea that the cast usually congregates after the show on stage, because it's not the first time that he has been on SNL. He appeared on the show in December of 2020, which was a reschedule after they had to cancel his originally scheduled show for October 2020 after he failed to abide by some very strict COVID protocols. But they did invite him back a couple of months later, and it was all good. So it's not his first rodeo with these people. Also, if this is how he had rehearsed his exit every single time before now, it probably shouldn't have been as shocking to the cast that he would do the same thing when it was live. But actor Kenan Thompson had a few things to say about this. He says Morgan Wallen's SNL walk-off exit felt so abrupt and questioned the singer's God's country post. What are you trying to say? I don't know what goes through people's minds when they decide to do stuff like that. I don't know if he understood the assignment or not, or if he was really feeling a certain kind of way. I thought maybe he had to go to the potty or something, Thompson told Entertainment Weekly. It's definitely a spike in the norm. We're so used to everybody just turning around and high-fiving us, everybody saying, good job, good job, good job. So when there's a departure from that, it's like, I wonder what that's about. The God's country of it all is strange, because it's like, what are you trying to say? You trying to say that we are not in God's country? We're not all in God's country? We're not all under God's umbrella? That's not necessarily my favorite. So I appreciate the level-headed response from Kenan Thompson. But about that whole God's country thing, this was a reaction to the whole situation that kind of got my attention the most.
Wallen just abruptly left SNL. He left SNL, said he was supposed to be performing. It was supposed to be a promo for his new album. And then he posted not long thereafter, a photo of him back on the private jet, and he said, "Get me back to God's country." Maybe he saw something that he did not want to see. And if you have a problem with him leaving, if you are one of those people thinking, "Oh, this is so ungrateful," my question to you would be, did you not see Lady Gaga's skit on SNL? Did you not see that? Because Morgan Wallen posting "Get me back to God's country" makes a whole lot more sense after seeing that skit.
And what skit was she talking about? Well, earlier this month, Lady Gaga did a skit where they were basically doing a ritual on stage.
Someone who watched Saturday Night Live, then you already know what Lady Gaga just did. For the ones that don't, Lady Gaga just did a ritual on live television, y'all. I know people gonna say, it's just SNL, it's a skit. No, they want you to believe it's a skit. This real life. We all know what side Lady Gaga is on. So miss me with that bull. I'm gonna play a little clip of some of the stuff that happened on live TV that Lady Gaga did. But I'm not gonna add the sound because that's demonic. It was like they was trying to cast little spells, saying little words and shit. I ain't with none of the half of that. I'm so disappointed in him. Just look at all this. Look, y'all. I don't know what they saying. I cut that down. I ain't trying to get no spells cast on me. Look at this.
So that's what she was talking about. It wasn't in the same episode that Morgan Wallen was in, but clearly, as these people have shown us repeatedly, they are constantly making a mockery of God and also trying to normalize things like demon worship. And of course, one of the best ways to do that is to try and make it seem lighthearted and funny. Of course, there are people that are going to think it is funny for some reason. And to those people, it has worked. They have desensitized you to this stuff. But I have absolutely no doubt that when you walk into a place where this has become accepted and normalized and where it's even humorous and you're surrounded by this elite class who has been rumored for years to be like performing rituals and involved in satanic symbolism and using this symbolism in their performances, and now they're just more open about it than ever, you're going to feel that when you are in the presence and you are in the middle of it. And this falls in stark contrast to how Morgan Wallen ended his own performance.
Praise the Lord and go balls, baby.
Praise the Lord. So I'm just surprised that the entire cast didn't burst into flames after he said that. So you guys can let me know if you think that that had anything to do with it. But of course, there are tons of people saying that he did this because he's a conservative white male, meaning he is inherently bigoted. So therefore, he can't be around anyone different than him. And that's why he left.
Nobody respects what Morgan Wallen did because he is a prime example of how a lot of these MAGA people behave. They will insert themselves in quote unquote liberal spaces, right? They'll go and do things in liberal spaces, but then act all offended and super conservative because they're trying to make a point. It's all for attention. That's all it is.
Clearly, so much projection and gaslighting there. But of course, libs can't disagree with anything that conservatives do without calling us schmazzies. So this post says, SNL was phenomenal last night, except for Morgan Wallen. Every bit to the end was funny and well done. Even his set was really cool, but he was noticeably sour. Both performances were angry and weird. This was disrespectful. Stop booking schmazzies. Below it says, the show sucked as usual. The writers have nothing funny anymore. Only reason I watched was because of Wallen, and they only invited him because their ratings suck. And then the response below that was, you're right. They definitely booked him because they knew he would bring ratings, but I think he felt unwelcome because no one wants to be cordial to a racist schmazzi. It's hard to think the jokes are funny when you are one of the monsters participating in the ugliness of the world. Now, what I find funny about some of the liberal responses to this is that they're acting like, first of all, that we go out of our way to insert ourselves into liberal spaces because Just using that term shows us how divided that they want us to be, because there are no conservative spaces and liberal spaces, and there never should be. But then again, segregation has always been part of the Democrat Party, so no one is surprised that they use this type of language instinctually and they don't even realize it. But of all people who try to enter anyone's spaces, trust me, we try to keep a distance as much as possible because we don't want to get physically assaulted or screamed at. Secondly, it's the idea that they're trying to act like liberals welcome people who disagree with them with open arms and that we have nothing to worry about. My guess is that Mr. Wallen ran out to his jet so fast because he was afraid that while you guys were distracting him on stage, you also sent a mob out to set his jet on fire. Anyway, I understand the whole thing is really silly, but apparently a lot of people have a lot of feelings about it, so I thought I would share my thoughts about it. So what are your thoughts on this? And honestly, when was the last time you watched SNL? Drop it in the comments below, hit the thumbs up button, become a subscriber if you're not already. I appreciate your support in helping me grow this channel. Other than that, keep it real, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.